Now we're on to chapter 21. We're going to start with the homework. There we go. And, oh wow, look at that.
That's better than that.
Yeah, well the other one was practice, right? Actually, this isn't too bad because I think we still only have 25 surviving members of this class, right? People have been dropping like flies. Okay, back to the story. First one, number 6. Review. Winslow has agreed to be acquired by Farrier, Inc. for $25,000 worth of Farrier stock. So, Farrier currently has 1,500 shares of stock outstanding. Let's see if I can get this smaller. There we go. At $21 a share, Winslow has 1,000 shares outstanding at a price of $22. The incremental value of the acquisition is $4,000. What is the merger premium per share? Okay, let's figure this out. We are so $25,000 worth of Farrier stock. How much is Farrier stock worth? 21. Okay, so let's see here. Winslow has 1,000 shares outstanding at a price of 22. So basically what we're going to try to do here is figure out how much we're spending per share of this firm and then subtract out what the current market price is. The incremental value of the acquisition is $4,000. What's the merger premium per share? Okay, we know that the value of the merged firm is equal to the value of the target, or the value of the acquiring firm, plus the value of the target, plus what? The incremental value. Okay, how do I figure out the standalone value? How do I figure out the standalone value for the acquiring firm?
1,500 times 21.
Yeah, 1,500 times 21. Can someone tell me that number?
31,500.
31,500? Okay. The standalone value of B, so the target has 1,000 at 22. Now, what's the incremental value of the merger?
4,000.
Okay, so 31.5 plus 22 is what, 53.5? So we're looking at 57.5 here? 57,500. Now, they are going to, for $25,000 worth of their stock, how many shares are they going to have to issue? 25,000, and what are their shares currently worth? 21. So how many shares do they have to issue? 1,119.4. Okay, well, let's go with this.
100. It's 1,190.
90. Okay. 0.4. Okay. So how many shares are we going to have now?
2,690.
So 2,600. So we've got what? 1,500 plus 1,190.4 is equal to 2,690.4. So that's the number of shares that are going to be outstanding. And we know that the firm is going to be worth that much, right? And so 57,500 divided by 2,690.4. Someone give me that number.
21.37.
21.37. I think I may actually be figuring the wrong thing here. I'm actually headed toward
Yeah, that's
net present value, right? Okay, so let's talk about this incremental value of the acquisition is $4,000. What's the merger premium per share? And so if they're offering 25, so yeah, oh, this is far easier than I'm making it. Okay, so they've currently got 22,000, so they're currently worth how much?
81.
No, so we got $22 per share times 1,000. How much is that worth? 22,000. How much are we paying? 25,000. And so that's how much per share? $3. I am sorry I was making that harder than it had to
So if
be.
you were going to find NPV, right now we have the new price per share.
Yeah, so we've got the new price per share, and the old price per share was how much?
20,
No, for the acquiring firm.
21.
21. And so the NPV per share is just 37 cents.
So then if you times that by the new number of shares,
And that's the, but it would be the previous number of shares, because keep in mind, this is the gain to the old shareholders, not everybody.
so 37 cents times 1,500
Yep.
is NPV.
Yep.
Can you go again, please?
Okay, so again, for which one? The correct answer, or the thing that we're supposed to be doing, or the thing
So
that
I did what you did,
okay.
but I don't know how to.
Okay, did you want to know how to do this question?
Is it gonna be an exam?
Well, hell yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so here's what we did. We're like, okay, this thing is, we're going to pay $25,000 for it. It says it right there in the problem, right?
Yeah.
Okay, how much is it currently worth?
22.
22,000. So 25,000 minus 22,000 is how much? 3,000. And when we divide that by the 1,000 shares, 3,000 divided by 1,000 is?
Sorry, I'm looking there.
Okay, how much are we going to pay for this pig?
We're gonna pay 25.
Yeah, what's it really worth?
22.
What's 25 minus 22?
3,000.
25,000 minus 22,000 is 3,000.
Yeah.
How many shares are outstanding?
Oh, 1,000.
Boop. Okay, the other way we could have done this is said, wait a minute, they're going to pay 25,000 for 1,000 shares. How much are they paying per share? 25.
So it's the formula for merging premium per share, so I can put in the.
Okay,
sheet.
so
It's actual,
what do I pay per share
actual cost.
minus the actual value per share? Whew. Okay, but hey, luckily we caught an NPV there too. Who knows, there may be another one here. Okay, now let's move on. This time I will actually read the question in advance. So at the end, it's asking what's the value per share of firm B after acquisition. Okay, so firm B, control minus. Firm BA is being acquired by firm B for $24,000 of firm B stock. The incremental value of the acquisition is $3,500. Firm A has 1,500 shares of stock outstanding at a price of $15 per share. Firm B has 12,000 shares outstanding at a price of $30 per share. What's the value per share of firm B after the acquisition? Okay, so in this case, everything is reversed. They're saying that firm B is doing the acquiring. So we switch these. B is the acquirer, A is the target. So what is the standalone value of firm B?
36.
1,200 times 30.
1,200 times 30. Very good. So that's what, 36,000? Is that right? 36,000. What's the standalone value of firm A?
22,500.
Very good. Is that correct?
Yeah.
What's the incremental value of the merger?
3,500.
3,500. I'm getting 62,000. Is that right? Okay. Now, we know the total value of the firm after the merger. Now all we need to know is the total number of shares that are going to be outstanding. If they're going out there and spending $24,000 worth of their stock $24,000 divide by $30 per share. How many shares are they having to issue? 800, very good. Now, how many shares then does that mean firm B is going to have afterwards? How many did they have before?
1,200.
1,200. And then you add the extra 800. Hopefully you can do this math in your head. 1,200 plus 800 is what?
2,000.
2,000. So what we're going to do is divide this by 2,000, and I think it is $31 per share. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you go over how you got the 800?
Yeah. Okay. So they're given $24,000 worth of their stock. How much is each share of firm B's stock worth?
30.
30. What's 24,000 divided by 30? How many shares did they have to issue? 800. Does that make sense? Other questions? Okay, we're going to keep plowing through here. That's number 9. Now we're on to number 10. Firm X is being acquired by Firm Y for $35,000 worth of Firm Y stock. The incremental value of the acquisition is $2,500. Firm X has $2,000 of stock outstanding at a price of $16 a share. Firm Y has 1,200 shares of stock outstanding at a price of $40 per share. What's the actual cost of the acquisition using company stock? This is where it gets hairy. Okay. So Firm X is the target, right? Firm X is being acquired. We know that the value of this thing at the end let's see, Firm X is being acquired, so that's the target. Okay, so first of all, can anyone tell me what is the standalone value of Firm Y? How would we calculate it?
1,200 times 40.
1,200 times 40, which I think is what, 48,000? 48,000? Yeah. Okay, now, what's the standalone value of Firm X?
32,000.
Because it's 2,000 times 16. Does that make sense? And what is the incremental value of this 2,500? I think that's 82,500. Is that correct?
Yes.
Very good. Okay, so that's the top part. Now all we've got to do is figure out the number of shares that are going to be outstanding after the merger. So they say they're going to use 35,000 worth of Firm Y stock. Mr. Scott, how are we going to figure out the number of shares, of new shares issued? We know it's 35?
35,000 divided by Firm Y, you said?
Yeah.
Divided
So-
by 1,200.
Nope. How much is each share of Firm Y stock worth?
40.
Yeah, so we're going to take 35,000 divided by 40. That's going to be the number of new shares. So can someone tell me what 35,000 divided by 40 is?
875.
Very good, thank you. That means we're going to have to issue 875 new shares of Firm Y stock. Firm Y beforehand had 1,200 outstanding. So I think now we have 2,075. Is that correct? Okay. Now, to figure out what the share price is after the merger, we've got 82,500 divided by 2,075. Can anyone tell me what that is?
39.759.
Right, 39.759. Okay, now the question asks this: what's the actual cost of the acquisition using company stock? We know that the stock they gave away, or they gave up, was worth $39.759. How many shares did they give up? 875, right? Can anyone do that multiplication there and tell me the number?
34,789.
Boop! There you go. That's the answer, right? Once again, only 4 calculations, right? And hopefully one of them will be the simple merger premium like I tried to make way too complex. Questions? Okay. Now we're on to number 10 from the practice. What the hell? The cost of capital of Zefco Inc. is 13.1% compared to 14.4% for Hadwell. Let's actually go ahead and read the last part because a lot of this is just crap. Which of the following rates is most appropriate to use as a discount rate when analyzing the acquisition of Hadwell by Zefco? The incremental stuff that's going on is going to be related to Hadwell, right? Should we be using Zefco's rate or Hadwell's rate? Hadwell. Remember I told you about when I was at Halliburton, how we used our weighted average cost of capital to buy this really risky Scottish company? We were using 11.9%. Their WACC was 25%. We should have been using their rate. Always use the rate of the target. Always use the rate of the target because that's the riskiness of the assets you're taking on. Always use the risk of the target. And so all we have to do is figure out what Hadwell's cost of capital is. It's 14.4%. Now, the rest of this stuff with the expected market rate and the risk-free rate and all that stuff, is that of any value to you at all? No, that's one of the benefits of reading the question first and then going back. Does that make sense? By the way, I give you too much information, and occasionally students get really upset about that, but I'm here to tell you, in real life, what do you think the situation is? That you have too much information or that you have not enough? In real life, you have not enough, and if I gave you that kind of situation, you would be all over me, right? Sadly, that's what happened in engineering school, and they would say, make an assumption and write it down. Oh, that's just wrong. At least I'm not doing that to you. Also makes multiple choice hard.